Alright, let's start off with an introduction. I'm Coma, aka a random VTuber on the internet. There's a lot of us. We get around. As for, the topic of this video, I have been a fan of Honkai Star Rail since 2.0, even though I did play it on release. I did not like it on release, to be honest. It was a bit... The plot lines weren't there yet, right? But, when 2.0 came out, Panic County happened, I really got into this game. But only now have I dug deep into the lore. And so, that's what this video is about. So let's begin. Before the Zeroth Amber Era, which is the naming scheme for Honkai Star Rail's eras, there was the Tree of Imagination and the Sea of Quanta. The Tree of Imagination branched out, right, forming worlds and suns and stuff like that, right? With the Sea of Quanta being like the void around, you get the whole entire universe of Honkai Star Rail. And this is where the first Aeons ascended, as, that's where these concepts in the Honkai Star Rail universe began. With, Hello, the Equilibrium, Ouroboros, the Veracity, and the Order? I hope I'm saying that right. There's gonna be a lot of hard words to remember, but we're gonna get through it. And the final Aeon, which would be Long the Permanence. During this time period, we do know that the Dusk Wars happened with the Leviathan species, but also it kind of got covered up and erased by the worst historians possible, aka the Enigmata. They're literally history fictionologists. Yeah, I don't even know how to cover them. After the Dusk Wars, Quillpoth ascends to Aeonhood, and thus the Amber Eras begin with the preservation. The first 200 years of the first Amber Era are pretty much blank. We do know around this time that a genius named Xandar began to complete his theory on the imaginary tree. After compiling a bunch of data, he then builds Nus. I don't know how to say that. Herdo literally just calls this Aeon Robohead or whatever. So that's what I shall call him from now on. Anyways, Xandar builds Robohead, achieving, like, a never-ending thought feedback where he ascends to godhood, leaving Xandar as his emanator. And Xandar becomes the first Genius Society member. And this begins the path of erudition in Honkai Star Rail. And to explain, emanators are individuals who have been granted permission by the Aeon to use their power. So they are just directly granted power from the Aeon. And in the nebulous part of this time period, we do know that Akuveli was born on Pagana and would depart the isolated world sometime later, ascending to Aeonhood, the Aeon of Trailblaze, and he would later found the Astral Express. During the Astral Era year of 1168 AE, the members of the Genius Society bring forth the first prosperity, with Machiavelli also establishing the Star Rail during this year. During the actual era year of 1357 AE, Louis Fleming began trading for construction materials to assist Quilpath, and then 30 years later, he would form the IPC with Dongfeng. Around this time period, as far as we know, Aha would climb to the highest branch of the imaginary tree. They saw the sea of Quanta, and then they saw a baby fall and cry. This brought Aha so much joy, they burst out laughing, and they would ascend to Aeonhood, forming the Path of Elation. This very first primordial laugh would echo throughout the universe, forming the echoes of primordial laughter. To not get into specifics or anything, around Amber Era year 1300s or so, a conflict sparked where, on the insect world of Lipisma, various armies and factions sprung up a war, and this wiped out an insect species native to the planet. One of these insects, and the only one that survived, was Tezeranth, who felt such loneliness that they ascended to Aeonhood and started to reproduce asexually, without any partner in an unending propagation. And thus, the other Aeons would be threatened by the swarm, such as Order, Trailblaze, and Equilibrium. But eventually, Quilpath and the other Aeons all came together, along with a newly formed one, Zippy, which is the Aeon of Harmony, who would absorb the Aeon of Order. And thus, they finally took apart Tezeroth's form and diluted the path of propagation. I am not gonna lie, I am pretty tired right now. So, I'm gonna wrap it up here. If you guys really like this content, like, say, 1,000 views, I'll make another one. But, for now, bye.